at First Sight, season 16, and this is for the after party, y'all. This is the after party, and on the after party, we had Airris, we had Dom, and then we also had Chris. And let me tell you, we got a couple of good stories that came out of this after party. We got the story from Dominic, did it again. Dom, that she and Mack almost didn't even get on the flight to Jamaica because there was a big old kerfuffle on the plane because Mr. Mack, Mack that don't have no money to get his own place. Well, he had enough money to say, I'm upgrading us, upgrade first class. He was like, I want to upgrade us to first class. So he called himself being slick, going into the system, trying to upgrade them to first class, and come to find out he didn't even know what he was doing, and he actually canceled their flights. So next thing you know, they didn't even got flights. So then now he's got to rebook the flights because he messed up. And when they finally rebooked the flights, he's like, okay, well, rebook us, but don't give me no middle seat. And then you know what the agent gave him? A middle seat. That's what you get. That's what you get. And that's what happens when you try to do more than you should be doing, because he should have been perfectly comfortable sitting with everybody else in coach. I'm sure everybody was on the plane, the camera people, all the couples, everything. But why you want to go to first class? To show out? Yeah, maybe. But I'm telling you why he wanted to go first class, because he wanted free drinks. I'm telling you, he's a drinker. He was like, how long is this flight to Jamaica? I can't be paying for these drinks. I'm going to need on this flight. I need to be in first class so I can get some free drinks because I like to drink. And I haven't had no drink this morning, so I'm going to need them throughout the plane. And that's why he wanted to go to first class. I know who he is, because here you are, bro, can't even afford your own place. But all of a sudden, you upgrading people to first class. For what? Boy, get out of here. So anyway, when they finally did get on the plane and get their new seats, they didn't even get to sit together because they could no longer get seats together. He's a mess. I tell you, there was a lot of interesting stories on this show this time. But they started off talking to everybody, asking how you feeling the next day. And then we got another bomb dropped on us from Mr. Airris talking about, well, I'm kind of adjusting. And Keisha's like, what do you mean adjusting? What's going on? He starts to talk about how he's not really attracted. I'm going to say attracted. That normally Jasmin is not his type. What? Where did this come from? Because when she was walking down the aisle, he was clapping. He was all happy. I don't think it was fake. I think it was real. And then all of a sudden now we on the after party talking about she's not normally his type. And they ask, well, what is your type? And he goes, Lauren London. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let me say it. My new thing with Airris is I think Airris is self-centered and selfish, because a lot of the things that he says is all about him. I'll go back to last week when they asked about his friends were talking to him and he said, get on your knees. Once again, that's somebody serving him, self-centered and selfish. If you watch my video on him and Airris this week, Airris and Jasmin this week, I'm giving him 5 or 6 strikes because he did nothing for her, but was asking for all sorts of stuff. Feed me grapes, feed me strawberries, do this. Selfish, selfish-centered. We also saw these previews coming up next week talking about how can she already talking about what can she do to satisfy him in the bedroom. I want this. I want intimacy. He's the type of man that probably don't give you no foreplay. He's the type of man that likes to get straight to doing what he wants to do and could give hell about your own pleasure, because all he's ever thinking about is what he wants to do. I'm not saying he's out here trying to still be a player and he wants to cheat, but I can tell you right now, I see these selfish ways, these self-centered ways of Airris, because all his thoughts seem to be about him. So I don't know where this thing is coming from, where he's all of a sudden saying he's not attracted to her. Because when he first saw her coming down the aisle at that wedding, he liked what he saw, and I think that his enthusiasm was real. The only thing that I think might have happened is when she got close up on him and he saw those teeth. That might have been a turnoff. And then when he heard about those 15 or 14 dogs, that might have been a turnoff. Well, guess what? He's the 15th dog. We was talking about her having 13 or 14 dogs. Well, she got a 15th dog, possibly in Airris. But I think right now, I'm not saying he's a cheater and all that, but I definitely see how he is self-centered and he only cares about himself, a lot about himself, because I have yet to see him show some care for her, worrying about her needs and what she wants. Right now, it seems to be all about him, and I'm not liking it. Now you hear also Dom saying that Mr. Mack ain't what she's used to. She's used to tall guys with dark hair and beards. So we know what she's looking for. She mostly dates white guys. She likes tall men with beards and dark hair, or dark features and dark hair. So now we've heard from all these couples. We got, what's her name? Kirsten is not attracted to Shaq. We have Dom saying Mack is not her type. Now we have Airris saying Jasmin is not her type. Of course, we know Clint and Gina both have already said they're not each other's type. The only people around here doing it right are Chris and Nicole. It was polar opposites on that stage for Married at First Sight for the after party. You had Airris talking about all what he wants, all his needs, and then you had Chris over here having care and concern for his wife and caring about somebody else. And give me a Chris any day of the week. Now, I know he might be a little bit over the top with his feelings and emotions. And, you know, like I said, they trauma bonding. You have to watch my video over that. But I'd rather a person who's doting over me. I'd much rather that than a person who's only thinking about themselves. Airris looked bad this whole episode, and he looked bad on this after party. And then they showed the scene when they was waking up, Airris and Jasmin waking up in the bed, and we find out that was all staged. Because then we find out that really what happened was Airris got up early in the morning and went to the gym. Watch my video. That's why I gave him another strike. You mean to tell me the day after your honeymoon night, you get up early in the morning and go to the gym? You couldn't even sit in the bed and lay in the bed with your new wife. You was hopping up and leaving. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So next thing you know, what you really find out is he went to the gym. So when he got back from the gym, by now the cameras are there. So they got to fake and recreate like he was up in the bed and they was really cuddling. They was probably on two opposite ends of the bed. Airris really made me mad this episode, y'all. He lost a lot of points with me. I don't really know if he can recover from this. I really don't know. He's going to have to do a whole lot. I was like Kirsten. I was pulling a page out of Kirsten's book. I was giving strikes. I was giving strikes and saying, you got a lot of making up to do. I hope he can recover, y'all. I hope he can recover. But he certainly was talking about, you know, he likes thick too. He likes thin too. He's like, my celebrity crush is Lauren London. That's the women I normally like. Boy, I hate when people come on here talking about the people they normally like. Well, obviously the people you normally like didn't like you because you wouldn't be on Married at First Sight. So I really don't know what's the point of talking about what you like when those people didn't like you. You shouldn't be coming on this show talking about that. Not at all. You got too many people on here talking about what they normally like. People who haven't been able to find their person out here in the world. And now they're coming on this show still craving and fiending for someone that never wanted them all these years. Then what's the point of being on Married at First Sight? What's the point of being matched up with someone if all you're going to do is hold on to what you used to do? I'm sick of these people on Married at First Sight. They come on here with the wrong attitude. The only people coming on here with the right attitude are Chris and Nicole. That's it. The rest of these people, this is the wrong show for you. And then they were talking about Chris, talking to Chris about how that daddy was so hard on him. And I was saying in my other video on them, that daddy need to be worried about them type of men that was burning cigarette holes in his daughter's arms. Chris ain't the problem. Chris is not the boogeyman that you should be worried about. What you should be worrying about is your daughter was in a relationship with a man who was burning cigarette holes in her. People on here worried about the wrong things, to be honest with you. But you know what? He said that the father was really nice. He was trying to be funny. And that's just kind of who he is. I guess maybe the father is the Italian. Remember, you know, before Nicole would talk about her FBI side. Maybe that's the FBI side, the daddy. And then you have Dom over here taking up for that nice, nasty mama of Max, talking about she really is nice. Nice, nasty. That mama ain't nice. Can't nothing convince me that mama is nice because that mama was mean at the wedding, went home, slept on it, and woke up with the same nasty attitude. Like I said, when you get a chance to go home, sleep on it, think about what you said and did, and you come back with the same attitude, you ain't nice. You are not a nice person. What Alyssa said, I'm a nice person. No, you're not. You are not a nice person. Dominique said her last relationship was in 2019, 2 years ago, and it was obvious. She said pretty much, I guess the man cheated on her. Oh my goodness. The man cheated on her, and here her mama has gone ahead and paired her up with a man who was from Flint, Michigan, drank contaminated water, likes to drink, smoke in the cannabis industry, can't afford his own apartment, and living with some friends, and is used to fast women and fast cars. And he can't do a flight to Jamaica without alcohol, so he needs to upgrade to first class for alcohol. People, it gets worse and worse every episode. The case against Mack gets worse and worse every episode. And Airris and that cousin, watch my video on that too. I did a whole parody on that as well. I hope y'all check that out. But that was another thing. Keisha was like, your cousin was doing a little bit too much. Did nobody like that? I felt like jumping through the screen and saying, Jasmin, wait over there, Miss America. We'll take care of this right here and there. Because I would have read that woman up and down and said, I don't know who you think you are sitting over here talking to me like that with no bra on. How are you going to be talking like this with no bra on? Another person that didn't look good on the first day at the wedding, went home, slept on it, and came back with the same attitude and the same no bra. A good night's sleep, it didn't do nothing for them. Not one thing. And Aaron's talking about nobody had even met no girlfriends from his life. He'd been in California for 11 years, never brought no girl home. Nobody even met anybody. That's another red flag. But he talking about how nice Jasmin's family was, the father, the mother, everybody. So everybody was nice to you, but then when your cousin is mean to Jasmin, you don't go in and check your cousin. You just let Jasmin hang out there. Like I said, he's selfish. He is selfish and self-centered. I'm figuring out. I'm not going to so much say he's ready to be a playboy and cheat on Jasmin. I'm still not getting those vibes from him, but I'm getting the self-centered and cheater. And that's why he likes all this sex talk. It's really centered around, what can you do for me? How can you pleasure me? That's what it's about. It's about self-centeredness and selfishness. He even tells a story that when he went out and worked out, he wanted some almond milk, and the hotel said there was no almond milk. And so the next thing you know, Jasmin went around and found some almond milk from him. And he was like, oh, I was so happy she found me some almond milk. What have you done for her? What have you done for her? All he's talking about is what Jasmin did for him. And we saw in the episode, she was feeding him grapes, going to get him strawberries. Sit down, Jasmin. Sit down. Don't do nothing else for this man. Let him do something for you, because all he's talking about is what Jasmin did for him. Self-centered and selfish. That's why when he saw that empty apartment, he was sitting over there at his mama's house, living over there, letting his mama cook for him and clean for him. Airris don't do nothing. Nothing. He's self-centered. And of course, in the upcoming previews, or even on this episode, we saw how Gina fired the first shots at Clint. You can watch my video on that too. So you know what? Gloves are off. I was mad at Clint because he was going in on Gina and her looks. I actually think Gina is a good-looking woman. But so what? Gina fired the first shot, so you get what you get. That's how I feel. When you get into the ring, then you got to be prepared for the punches. You have to be prepared for the punches. And it looks like Gina stepped in the ring first, talking about looks. This whole season is about people talking about each other's looks. Kirsten talking about Shaq's looks. Now you got Airris talking about Jasmin's looks. You got Clint and Gina talking about each other's looks. Don't come on the show if you want a particular person. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Anyway, check out my other videos on all the couples, and also my parody video. Hopefully that will make you laugh. Talk to you later. Bye.